not change with respect to our freedom and our democracy. But there's certain things that must change. There's certain things that must change. I think the senator from Delaware hit the nail on the head when he talked that our actions toward terrorists must change. What happened yesterday was not a hijacking of a domestic airlines flight. What happened yesterday was an enemy missile loaded with explosives, 11,000 gallons of jet fuel that exploded like a missile into targets here in the United States of America. It was an act of war. It was an enemy missile that was directed at our country. And we must respond accordingly to this act of war by those who perpetrated it. We are at war. We are at war with terrorists and to those nations who harbor them, who finance them, and who in any way encourage and support them. I think it's important that we say so here in the United States Senate at some point, that this is war with the forces of evil that have attacked this country. This is not, and I can't stress this more strongly than I hope I will, this is not a time to bring people to justice. It is a time to wage war and win a war against those who committed this act, those who harbor those who committed this act, and those who support and encourage those who committed this act. Here in the United States Senate, there are things that we can do, sensible things that we can do to support our president and to support the American people. First, as I mentioned before, we can support them right now with the resources they need to fight and try to find survivors and repair the damage that was caused here in this country. Second, we need to bring up the defense authorization bill right now in the United States Senate, and the defense appropriation bill right now. We need to make sure that we have the necessary tools in place to be able to defend our country. We need to look at the intelligence and counterintelligence operations of this country and determine soon whether we should enhance that capability. It is obviously insufficient. And we here in the United States Senate must do something about it, and we must do something about it now. It's important for us to come together at a time of national crisis and emergency, when our country is threatened, to pass the necessary tools for our government to fight the war that it will be engaged in the coming weeks, months, and maybe longer.
Senator Santorum, the Republican senator from Pennsylvania. It was in Pennsylvania, of course, that one of these slates had been taken over by hijackers, by the